Hey guys, welcome to another video, and today we are going to review EliteROM Plus for the Poco X3 Pro. This is a paid version which I've been testing for the last 2 to 3 days, and I've been using it on my personal phone, that is the Poco X3 Pro. So you pretty much will get a very clear impression of how good or bad, or you should really go ahead and invest in it or not by the end of this video. It is a complete review based on our new ROM rating system, so it will be a little lengthy, so please stick till the end to see all the scores and understand how it exactly works and how it makes your life easy to go ahead and analyze which ROM to use and which ROM to not. But before we get into all of that, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. In the description of each video, there is a link to our Telegram community where we have just completed 1,000 members. Join us there and have some fun. And last but not the least, if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please click on the join button and support the channel. Every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. we have a podcast in which every once in a while our channel members can join and share their thoughts and ask me questions. So without further ado, hello awesome people, welcome to PhoneOps. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. Alright, so a complete review for a ROM. In this, usually what you will see is somebody shares thoughts about different aspects of the ROM, but then you are left with a yes or no answer, or an answer which is somewhere in between. So we thought we should make this simpler and easier for you to understand. So we have a 5-point ROM review system wherein we have divided the categories into ROM look and feel, performance and gaming, camera, essentials, verdict, right? And each category has its points, as you can see on the screen, and accordingly I will share my experience and give you the numbers. So without further ado, let's get going real quick. So the first section that we are talking about is the ROM look and feel, because whenever you go ahead and launch any particular app, or you just start the ROM for the first time, this is the first thing that you see, that how does the ROM look, how does the ROM feel, right? And in this, the first category is launcher look and customization. So this of course is EliteROM Plus, which is based on MIUI 12.5. So if you go to the launcher settings, right, you will see that the launcher is the system launcher. The system navigation is gestures, and in the -1 screen you do have Google Discover and App Lock and App Vault. Now you have the home screen search bar provider, you can set it to Google, right? You do have double tap for lock screen, fill cells of uninstalled apps, lock home screen layout, hide app icons, so you have the option to hide them as well, and arrange items in recents vertically and horizontally, right? So I'm not saying this is not such a good launcher or the best launcher in the world, right? If you ask me, apart from the slight stutter that you would have, and that is not a ROM issue, that is a launcher issue, the system launcher is doing an amazing job, not only because it has all these features, but if you have a look and launch the camera application, you have the complete animation and it works like a charm. 99% of the time I don't have any major stutters. So when it comes to the MIUI launcher, it feels complete, it feels great. So we are going to give this a complete 5 out of 5 for the first category. Right, now moving on, we have notification tiles in Google Feed. Now Google Feed is something we already saw, right? So this takes the cake there. Now you might not agree with me that Google Feed deserves some attention, but a lot of users do use Google Feed, and that is the reason it should be a part of your launcher. That is what I think, at least. So what about the notification tiles? You have the normal notification tiles, and then you have this control center, and in this particular ROM they have the latest version of the control center, which has all the things fixed, and you have most of the notification tiles as well. You can go ahead and edit them and add them as well. The look is pretty decent, very close to what iOS would look like. So over here, notification tiles in Google Feed, again this ROM would definitely get a complete 5 out of 5. Now moving on, you have UI smoothness and jitter. Now this is where, so by now you would think that this ROM has gotten 10 points out of the 10 points in the first two categories, but UI smoothness and jitter is where MIUI would stutter or shiver or whatever you want to call it. But this is a custom ROM, this is EliteRomPlus for the Poco X3 Pro. So although I will not give it the complete points, but I will tell you it is very well optimized, just like China Beta or China Stable. So out of 5 we can easily give it a very strong 3. Now you would tell me that why you're not giving it 4 or 5, because wait till the time you see ROMs like, you know, AOSP extended, which has just come out for the Poco X3 Pro. These ROMs are smooth and MIUI needs time to get there. Now the next category that we are going to talk about is theme engine and customization. Now this is one place where there will be a tough fight between AOSP ROMs and MIUI, because not only you know that MIUI is known for its customization, it's known for its online themes store. You have thousands and thousands of options and stuff like that. And you have icon packs, you have wallpapers, you have different ringtones. So anything that you can ask for, it is there. But what it lacks is customizing the UI. The OS itself cannot be customized as much as you would be able to do it in the AOSP ROMs. Versus you have an advantage or disadvantage in AOSP ROMs that you don't have that big huge theme store, but hey, you can always Google your favorite wallpaper and stuff like that, right? So you know, as far as theme engine and customization is concerned, I would give it a solid 3, right? So that wraps up for our first category, that is ROM Look and Feel, and we got 5, 5, 3, 3. That leaves us with 16 points for the first section. So EliteRomPlus, pretty strong there. But the next category that we are going to talk about is very important, very interesting for everyone. We're going to talk about performance and gaming, and in performance and gaming, the first option or the first subcategory is throttle test, which holds 5 points. So let's actually go to gallery, because I did go ahead and run a CPU throttle test and took a screenshot of that. Now as you can see over here, what matters for us, okay, what matters for us, CPU throttle to 63% of this max performance. Now a custom kernel can fix it, and I've already shared my feedback with the developer that, you know, this needs to be fixed because it should not be this bad. And I have tested this for, you know, 2 or 3 different times after keeping the phone off for 10 minutes in a cool environment in air conditioner, but still it's throttling 70-75%. And in our books, if you are going to throttle the processor, be it MIUI or be it a custom ROM, below 75% of its peak capability, you get 0 points. So in the throttle test, at least this ROM gets 0 points. And remember, this might not be an issue with the developer's work. This might be, and this definitely looks like an issue of MIUI 12.5. Now moving on, we are talking about the Geekbench score. Now this could be a debatable topic, because you got to see here that we just have 5 points, and the single core is 666, multi-core is 2521. Right now the average score for, you know, this Poco X3 Pro is 700 to 750 single core and 2500 to 26 multi-core. So over here, this is sort of little low when it comes to performance, so we will definitely give it 3 points out of 5. Now moving on, we have something related to gaming, right? You're talking about the lowest FPS in game stream. Now if you want to see the gaming performance of EliteRomPlus, I would request you to go to the second channel, that is PhoneOps Gaming. Watch our live stream over there. We played for around 2 hours, and initially we tried at 60 FPS, which is what the device supports, and after which we switched to 90 FPS. So you can go ahead and have a look at that. It's not there on this channel. I'll leave a link to that particular stream in the description of this video. So the lowest FPS I saw after the parachute opened was 48 to 49. Right, so the lowest FPS, if it is between 45 to 50, well, then you will get 3 points over here. So that is what we are going to give. And the highest battery temperature while gaming, right? I did not see this phone go above 42 or 43 degrees when it comes to the battery temperature. So that was pretty impressive. And between 40 and 45, you still do get 3 points over here. Right, now let's move on to the interesting part, which might be for people who are non-gamers. Now before we do that, let me actually quickly tell you about the performance. In the performance section, you have got total of 9 points out of the 25 points that were out for grabs. Right now we have photo, video, low light photo, low light video, extra features. Now get used to the fact that if it is a MIUI ROM, be it EU stable or EU beta or anything, across the board okay, photo, video, low light photo, low light video, and extra features. This is a 25-point section. Okay, this is one area where MIUI based ROMs are very strong, because it definitely comes with the camera app from the factory, right? So it'll right away get 25, because you cannot get higher performance than the stock camera out of this particular camera system. So moving on, we have essentials, and to make you guys understand what essentials actually means, it's network, Wi-Fi, signal strength, and call drops, voice over Wi-Fi, voice over LTE, carrier video calling, and data and Wi-Fi, right? The connectivity, battery backup, and charging, right? You can use AccuBattery or the built-in screenshots, safety net, wideband, and fingerprint speed, right? Now, first thing to talk about over here, network, Wi-Fi, strength, and call drops. Now, I did not have any normal call drops, right? The network was absolutely fine. Luckily, I live in an area where the network is pretty good. But also, what also matters is when you're going out of Wi-Fi range, how easily it handles the handover from a Wi-Fi call to a VoLTE call. On some MIUI based ROMs, it can be glitchy, but on this ROM, it was pretty rock solid. So in the first category, we will easily give it 5 points, right? Now moving on, we have voice over Wi-Fi, voice over LTE, carrier video calling, data, and Wi-Fi. Again, we'll have to give it full points, because this is based on 12.5 and it works absolutely fine. Next up, we have battery backup and charging speed as per AccuBattery. Now let's have a look at the current state of the battery over here. So if we actually go to battery and performance, right? Now you would notice I have discharged it 2 hours and 39 minutes back, and I've had a screen on time of 48 minutes, but we are still at a good 88%. So the battery life on this ROM is splendid. Despite having pretty decent and great performance, it has very good battery life. Not the best battery life that I've seen, but I would say it is there, almost there. And this, of course, as I said, stock ROMs have an advantage when it comes to the review. I'm not being biased towards MIUI. The functionality of the phone, any device you take, is better when it comes to MIUI or any stock ROM. So in charging, it does support the complete 33-watt charging. So we're going to give it a complete 5 points. So, so this gets complete 5 points over here as well. Next up, we have safety net, wideband, and fingerprint speed. Let's see what the safety net test has to say over here. Safety net failed, right? So that's because to install this ROM, you have to flash Magisk, right? So you will have to go ahead and fix safety net manually. That can be fixed. But apart from this, if you talk about wideband L1, the DRM Info app, L1 certification is there, and Amazon Prime HD or Netflix HD works absolutely fine. The fingerprint speed is rock solid once again, because this is a ROM based on MIUI 12.5. So out of 5, we can easily give it 4 points over here, right? So that brings us towards the end of essentials, right? So what did we get? 5, 5, 5, and 4. So that's essentially 19 points out of the 20 which were up for grabs. All right, now the last thing that we're going to talk about is bugs. I did not find any major bugs. There was only one bug which the developer had already informed me, and maybe some MIUI related bugs. So easily we can give it a 4 out of 5, because no ROM is bugless, and it'll be very impossible to sort of impossible to get a ROM which will score 5 when it comes to bugs. Updates, yes, we can definitely give it a complete 5 over here, because this developer for EliteRomPlus updates the ROM every time on an active device there is an update from MIUI, right? So over here as well, we get 9 points. Now, before I give you the final score, final verdict, let me tell you what all we have got. In ROM Look and Feel, we got 16. In performance, we got 9. In camera, we got 25. In essentials, we got 19. And in verdict, we got 9. So let's see what the total is. Right, so EliteRomPlus, out of 100, we get a score of 78. Now, if you talk about the star rating, it is almost 4 out of 5 stars. This is a very solid and compelling ROM. It does come with additional features which you can see over here. It says Elite Extras. There is a small bug in there. It should not, annoy you that much. But what I would say is EliteRomPlus is worth the money. You can definitely go ahead and install it. And the important question that all of you have been asking me, is there a difference between the paid version and the free version as far as the performance is concerned? So the important question that I keep getting since the time I've made a preview of this video, is there a difference in performance in the free version and paid version? I've had a word with the developer. There might be 10 to 20% difference. In gaming, yes, there might be a difference, but not by a huge margin. You will get extra customization in the paid version. You will get better support. You will get better updates, and you will be helped if you're stuck somewhere. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this video? 78 points out of 100 Elite ROM Plus on the new ROM review system. Until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at PhoneOps. Keep smiling. Take care. Goodbye.